It's the Rockets in Houston. Taking a look at the Rockets, this is going to be a great test of their ability to match up against any style of opponent. The front office had that in mind when this roster was constructed. We'll see how it actually plays out tonight.
The famous We Love Houston sign just off Interstate 10. We're coming to you from the Toyota Center in the biggest city in the Lone Star State. Welcome to this Sunday afternoon edition of the NBA here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark. Kellogg and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge is on our sideline. Both teams tonight.
Squad at full strength in this one, so I expect to see adjustments in various matchups as the first half starts to shape up.
And as things rock, whatever works, David. Thanks. Now let's take a look at the starters for New Orleans. Ball and Holiday combined at the guard spots. J.J. Redick is out there with Ingram, and it's Favors in at the center, locking down the middle. And for the Rockets, Westbrook and Harden, the dynamite pair. They're the backcourt. The forwards are Gordon and Tucker, and it's Capella in at the 5. Home in the paint. Now here's Westbrook. Nice spin off the left rim and in. Great guards tonight for both teams. Did you ever spend any time in the backcourt at any level when you were playing?
No, I was a ball handling forward, Kevin, and it served me well, but I was not a guard. I was a forward that could dribble and pass fairly well.
So you were ahead of your time, because that's all we see now in the NBA, right? Guards are not always bringing the ball up.
Yeah, you know, somebody just mentioned that to me, Kevin, that I was maybe a tad ahead of my time back in the late 70s.
And it's the fearlessness of Westbrook. It's really refreshing to watch. When he's deep inside, he just goes right at you.
Now here's Gordon. Derek Favors unable to get his shot to go. Lets the 3 fly. Westbrook, no good. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Favors, and no good. And the Rockets take it the other way. And the call will be against Lonzo Ball. That's his first foul. Capella against Favors.
Boy, the long limbs of Ingram come into play on defense, bothering shooters with his length and his hustle.
And with Clint Capella, it's easy to see what an important piece of this team he is.
Yeah, it really is, guys, because when he's off the floor, there's a clear difference in how his team plays. I mean, he fits in so well and gives the Rockets exactly what they need, finishing at the rim out of pick and rolls, and then a terrific rim protector as well.
Now, here's Ball. Favors trying to break free. Ball, no good.
Yeah, scoreless here early after their first 4 shots. They, right now, are searching for a bucket.
They get it back. And the rejection by Favors. Westbrook passes to Capella. 4 on the clock. 2 points. That one goes.
Clint Capella has what we call raw strength. And because of that, he's able to play through contact and score the ball. And, you know, you look at the way Clint Capella's offensive role has expanded the last few years. He's great in the pick and roll as an option at the top of the key, and he's actually seeing more and more touches as a finisher at the rim. The next step in his development being a back-to-the-basket scorer.
And with Capella, Clark, the numbers don't lie. He is a big factor on offense now.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I mean, his hands have gotten better. That's not something you can always see in a big guy, is improvement in his hands, but he's gotten better in catching and finishing. I love the way he moves and is always ready for the pass. He catches some tough stuff in traffic, and he gives you all of this at the offensive end with high-level defense, too.
And here's Westbrook after J.J. Redick hitting the 3. High arcing shot, second shot opportunity, and Capella with the layup. Capella's got 7.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
It's Redick on the wing, lets it go from deep. That falls. Nice feed that time from Ball. And it's 6 points for J.J. Redick.
Excellent confidence from Redick. Really good. I mean, taking his time, his form, textbook.
They shoot again. Offensive rebound, and it's put back up and in by Capella.
And they've done the job on the offensive glass.
I like the activity there, keeping the ball alive and creating some second chance buckets.
Now here's Ball. Takes a 3. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Capella. Ball against Westbrook. Here's Ingram.
And they've had chances to score inside, just unable to convert.
Yeah, you know, defense or not, good defense or not, those are shots you got to make. I mean, they're missing some easy ones.
Now Ball. James Harden missing on the 3. Holiday attacking. Ingram trying to get open. Here's Favors, and Capella sends it back.
This is the real strength of Capella's game now. Outstanding at using his length and athleticism to block shots.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam.
Really piling on the lead with a dunk like that.
And first time out of the game called for New Orleans.
Well, I tell you what, you just cannot help but be in awe of the offensive dominance James Harden has had over the last few years. I mean, he's done so much for this team and done it with both his scoring and playmaking.
So for the Pelicans, Josh Hart comes in for Drew Holiday. And it's Frank Jackson in for Lonzo Ball. Pelicans trailed by 9. And Favors kicks to Redick. Here's Ingram. And again, New Orleans has no luck. And when you look at usage rates, Harden is the offense for this team.
Yeah, you look at Harden's numbers over the last few years, and it has been absolutely ridiculous what he's done. I mean, there's no player who's had a better 3-year stretch in the history of the league. 30-plus points per game seasons the last few years, the near triple-double the year before. I mean, he's a marked man for every opponent, and he's still been able to put up these kinds of...
Really seizing the momentum of this game, but doing it with a methodical approach.
And, you know, that involves pounding it inside, getting as many points as you can right at the rim. That demoralizes the team.
for the Rockets. Daniel House has checked in for P.J. Tucker. And it's Austin Rivers in for Russell Westbrook. The pass to Favors. New Orleans moving it around. They need this one. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Second overall pick in 2016. A lot of expectations for Brandon Ingram. If anything, he puts that pressure on himself. This is a young man that wants to be great.
That free throw missing. And Clark, they say Brandon Ingram, his own biggest critic. Does all his frustration and worry become, you think, a hindrance?
I think it can be, guys. I mean, you can't weigh yourself down with self-frustration and self-criticism because it can keep you from being your best. At the end of the day, his talent is obvious. I think he's got tremendous upside, but that piece of the mentality that he brings has to be balanced out a bit. You know, his teammates calling him the slender man. Brandon Ingram, not much more than 200 lbs, but adding strength has been a focus.
And with Brandon Ingram and his size, he could benefit from adding a few pounds.
Well, you know, his teammates call him Tiny Dog. Dog because of his determination. That's a positive thing. The tiny part in reference to his slight frame. Time to bulk it up, young fella. Weight room.
You know, it's going to be tough to win when you give the other team second and third opportunities to score the ball.
At some point, guys, it comes down to pride. Start banging on your chest and get after it from your heart. I mean, you've got to at least offer some resistance. You can't just let guys do what they want in there. Good, solid execution inside. That's exactly the look you want.
To the inside. House. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Excellent all-around performance so far, hence the big lead.
Yeah, you know, they've had the advantage at both ends. They've got all the momentum early on.
Redick from deep three-point land. And the three off target.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Yeah, sensational is a really good word for it, Greg. They're tearing it up on the glass.
The drive by Jackson. Clark, I'm going to get a little detailed here, but in terms of footwork in the post, who really impresses you?
Well, there are a number of guys, Kevin. I mean, you think about it. Kevin Durant is a lethal scorer and does a lot of his work off the dribble and in transition on pull-up threes. But when he is a post-up threat, and he does get posted sometimes, his footwork is superb, absolutely superb. Joel Embiid comes to mind, big fella with feet of a ballerina. Jokic does a great job with his feet, not nearly as athletic as Embiid or Durant. And then I would put Kawhi Leonard outside of a big guy. I mean, he's not a big guy in terms of position, but boy, he is very efficient down in the low post when he gets it there.
Good name.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 coming from inside the paint.
Melly passes to Williams. Tries from 10. He can't get it to go. And the Rockets take it the other way. On the wing, Gordon. And it's off the back rim, no good.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
And Hart has it in the corner. It's rebounded by Houston. And there's the foul. It'll go on Josh Hart. That is his first foul of the game.